I'd say this another thing. I say to people who ask me, they go, Andrew, how do I get rich? And I say, okay, well, you're probably not going to get rich because I bet you're lazy, but let's say you're not lazy. The number one habit that people need to adopt, and this is a habit I had for a very long time, and I've actually recently cleared it from my brain because I've reached a point where peace of mind is worth more than money. But every single time money is spent, you need to identify how your money was taken from you. And I say taken because money can't be made. Money is taken. Because the only people who can make money are the governments. If you're a government, you can make money. You can print it from thin air or a bank. But if you're a person, you're not making money. You're convincing other people to give it to you. You're taking money from others. So every single time you spend money on anything, you need to identify how it was taken from you. When you go and buy a coffee, don't just go buy the coffee and sit down. Sit and say, why did I buy this coffee? Okay, I really wanted coffee. Yeah. But then why did I go into this store and not that store? Is it better advertising? Does it have less of a line? Do they have seating? How did they convince me to come in here? How much did this coffee cost? £6. What's the profit margin on that? Probably £5.50, £5.80 probably by the time. The cup probably costs more than the coffee. The coffee is just water. How did they convince me to spend £6 in this place? And when you sit there and analyze, and you all start to learn little lessons about business, you'll learn about the importance of the signage. You'll learn about the importance of there being no queue. Yeah. So that if you ever run a business, I'm telling you, I say with my business, my people all the time, faster. All the time, quicker. Yeah. Like I have a couple businesses that are physical. I'm like, I don't want to see a line. I don't want it to see empty because it looks bad. So when there's lines, you work fast. When we're down to 1 or 2 people, you take your time, you talk to the customer. Right. You keep it so there's like always one person at the thing. Like manage the line. Like people don't think about this stuff. No one's going to sit and wait in a long ass queue. Maybe some idiots will, but people like me won't. We've got shit to do, right? My time's worth money. I'm not going to stand and wait in a line. So you have to identify how your money is taken from you. If you start doing that with every single time you spend anything ever, you're going to start to identify business opportunities, and you're going to sit there and you're going to have coffee and you're going to go, you know what? They could have sold cake and they didn't. Could I outcompete this place? Let's imagine I had the money to start a coffee shop right next door. How would I outcompete them? Well, I'd have cake because they don't have cake. Also, most people in here are businessmen. And the guy serving some dude. No, we need a cute waitress. His ass is fired. We need a chick. Put a chick here, put some cake in. Financial Times, business people in. People don't even think about this stuff. They don't use their brain ever. They don't ever look around and realize how they're spending their money. They don't look around and look at which businesses are successful. They don't look around and pay attention to anything. They don't look at the world and all the things that are happening and how it can benefit them. None of it. They don't look at any of it. They're too busy following the circus. That's why it's Clown World. They know all about the football results. Right, They know all about Rihanna. Yeah. They know all about that crap, all about Love Island. They'll talk about Love Island all day. The same people who will march and fucking for labor saying, oh, the Tories are bad, labor. Watch Love Island at night. No wonder you're broke. You're a fool. You're a dummy. And no matter what the government does, no matter what a government or a financial system, no matter what they put together, it's always going to be competitive to some degree. Unless it's communism, which has been tried and they're trying to bring back, and we know how that all ends. Communism ends very, very quickly in violence because there's no other way to enforce anything. But no matter what they do or what law they make, there's going to be people who work harder than you and they're going to make more money than you. So if you're going to be a lazy dummy watching Love Island and not paying attention every time you spend money and not try and think and use your brain, guess what? You're going to stay fucking broke. Yeah. Then people understand. I've had people all the time come to me saying, yeah, I want to make money. Go take a half an hour and learn about fractional reserve banking. Learn you don't even know how money works. Yeah. You don't even know how a bank works. Like, how are you going to make something you don't know what it is? Right. Like, it's crazy, man.
One of the first TikTok videos I saw you do was where you were talking about how money's like water. Mm-hmm. And that I thought was a really good analogy because money is always moving. Yeah. And that's, again, coming back to property, because you know how much I love real estate. Of course. Is if you look on the Sunday Times rich list, 90% of them either made their money through real estate or made it through business or other ways and are now investing in real estate. Of course. If you can get around people that are in the property market, even if you've got no money, being in that environment, even if it's a case of finding deals, passing them on to the investors, it's where the money is.
Oh no, that's completely and utterly true. And yes, the cycle of precipitation, right? So a cloud comes, it rains, it falls down to the ground, it goes under the ground, whatever, goes into a stream, it moves into the stream, goes to the ocean, evaporates again, up into a cloud, floats somewhere else, falls down again. It's always moving. That's how money is. People think that money is in these large stagnant pools hidden in people's bank accounts. That's not really true. Money is constantly moving all the time. And if you can find a way to get in between it and stand in the right place at the right time, you're going to get wet. That's absolutely not really true.
That's an awesome analogy.
But it's true.
I'm going to steal it, by the way.
You can. It's no problem. It's true. And a lot of people have done that, right? I mean, even the little example I was talking about earlier. If anybody with a brain didn't invest in pharmaceutical companies at the beginning of COVID, I mean, if you didn't buy stock in Abbott at the beginning of COVID, don't know why. If you didn't invest in the arms companies at the beginning of this forever war, I don't know why. Like, it's easy. Where's the money going? To Ukraine to buy guns. So what am I going to do? I'm going to buy stock in Raytheon. Like, it's not complicated stuff. It goes into also, we'll talk about network and how important that is. But it's interesting you say about being in the room where people are making, are talking about property deals. I say the same thing. I say this to people. I say, if you're in a room full of ice cream experts, ice cream, and all they talk about is ice cream, how to make ice cream, their favorite flavor, the best way to store it, how much it costs to produce, how to transport it, and that's all they talk about is ice cream. Even if you have no interest in ice cream, over a long enough period of time, you're going to end up knowing stuff about ice cream. You're going to end up knowing shit. You're going to be like, that's double chocolate this, it costs this much, and this is how they moved it. You're going to know things about ice cream. If you're in a room full of people who only talk about money, then you're going to end up knowing about money. It's exactly the same thing. And network is net worth. Everyone understands this. And people also understand that they're likely to become the sum of the 5 people they spend the most time with.
Yeah.
But then they hang around with losers. It just blows my mind. It's like, I'm a busy man. Like, I don't have time. All these opportunities I've given a little away. I've told a little bit about domain names, a little bit about the Russian ruble, a little bit about stocks, etc. I'm very busy myself. But my network, I have hundreds of people who I talk to all doing this shit. Hey, Tate, have you seen this? Boom. And I'll throw him something, he'll throw me something. That's my ecosystem. That's who I talk to. Those are my friends. We don't talk about Rihanna. We don't talk about the football. We don't talk about Love Island. We don't talk about anything other than money.
Yeah.
How are we not going to make hundreds of millions of dollars? How am I not going to have money? Like, that's all we talk about. That's all we do. So I say this to people and I say, when's the last time, we talked about the coffee shop example. I say this to people all the time. When's the last time you sat and talked about money? What do you mean? When's the last time you sat down with someone and talked about money? Well, what do you mean talk about money? Well, if you don't know what to talk about, then you don't understand money. So go learn how money works. Go learn how a bank works. Go sit on YouTube for free. You don't need to pay 50 grand in 4 years like a university. Go sit on YouTube and understand money, banking, or the real estate market, any of it. Understand the last housing price crash, why it happened. Understand mortgage rates and how that's affected by interest rates. Understand it, and then go sit with someone else who understands it and talk about it. Oh, yeah, I should do that. Yeah. Back to TV. Yeah. Dumbasses. So, like, I don't want to be a negative person, because I'm not. But to a degree, I think the universe is very giving. And I've yet to experience in my 36 years a man or a woman who genuinely tries their very best and genuinely dedicates themselves to something and is genuinely motivated to make sure they're the best version of themselves, who doesn't get what they want.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've never seen someone go, I spend all of my time doing what I'm supposed to do. I do not waste any of my time. I dedicate myself. I'm good to people. I'm honest. I'm hardworking. I'm there on time. Every time I've got a meeting, I've got a firm handshake. I don't snake anybody. God likes me. I work hard. I'm not an evil person, and I work really, really hard. Who doesn't have everything they want? Yeah. So everyone can have anything they want. I really believe the universe will give anyone anything they want if they actually fucking want it.
The problem is, I think, when people complain. So if someone's complaining that they're broke and being negative, it's really hard, but then they're not doing the very basic things. It'd be like me complaining that I'm overweight.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was to bitch about it, I'm overweight, it's really hard. I heard you say actually on a Rumble video, you said that if you woke up fat, within a couple of months you'd be slim.
Absolutely.
Of course you would be. And in the same way, if I woke up broke, a couple of months I'd be rich.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's all about, exactly.
You get what you want.
Completely.
And what you push towards.
Completely. And that's what I truly believe that the universe is giving in that way. But it is player versus player, and that's just the way it works. But that's why also network is so important. So a lot of people who don't have, when you were saying earlier about being around the property deals, just even being around people with money is just a good place to be. I'll give you an example. I was in Romania, and I have the largest car collection probably in Romania. I have 28 supercars, everything you can name. And I went to a town called Cluj-Napoca. It's on the border of Hungary. And I drove there in my Chiron, and I parked up, and a kid came up, and he said, hey, can I take some photos of your car? I have a car spotting page. I was like, yeah, whatever, cool. And he goes, yeah, okay, I'll just be a few minutes to this. So he took a bunch of photos, and he come up to me and goes, hey, do you want the photos? And I was like, not really, I've already have photos. And he goes, oh yeah, okay. Well, if you want them, here's my email address. And I said to him, why do you do this? Like, you spend all day standing around taking photos of other people's cars. Is that not a waste of time? I thought it was a waste of time, but I was wrong. He goes, oh, well, I skipped school and I skipped college because I knew if I take pictures of expensive cars and email them to people, I'll have email addresses of the richest people in Romania.
Yeah, smart.
I was like, you're clever. I ended up hiring him. He works for me now.
Yeah.
I was like, I like you. He got himself a full-time job that day. So he understood, be near the money. I have no money. Yeah. Money's over there. Well, let me get closer to it. Like, no point staying over here on my fucking own. Let me at least get closer to it. That was a 17-year-old kid. Now he's making 10 grand a month in Romania from me. So like, at least being closer to it. So you're right. People should, even if they haven't got a penny in the world, should be going to these meetings about real estate, about investing, that especially if it's cheap, they should go. Just meet other people who at least have money. Have conversations about money. Talk about it. How are you going to get what you don't talk about?